What's up guys, Lon here from Android Authority, and is it a camera or is it a phone? Well, it's a little bit of both. This is your first look and hands-on of the ASUS Zenfone Zoom. It's pretty clear that the Zenfone Zoom's main focus is on the camera, and from the rear, the camera optics makes the phone look like a typical point-and-shoot camera, but switch over to the front and it looks like your standard everyday smartphone. The phone is made from a combination of metal and plastic, with metal for the frame to give it some rigidity and plastic for the back, which is actually removable to give access to the micro SD card slot and the SIM slot. Going around the device, the 3.5mm headphone jack is up top. Micro USB port is on the bottom, and the right side houses not only the power button and volume rocker, but also a dedicated 2-stage camera shutter button and a video recording button. Many of the Zenfone Zoom's other specs are very similar to the Zenfone 2 that came out earlier this year. So on the front, you're looking at a 5.5-inch 1080p LCD display protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 4. And if it's anything like the Zenfone 2's display, it will most likely be a struggle to see outdoors, but should get the job done just fine otherwise. Inside, the Zoom is being powered by a quad-core 64-bit Intel Atom chip with 4 gigs of RAM that should provide for some excellent performance, and comes in either 64 or 128 gigabytes of internal storage with micro SD card expansion for up to an additional 64 gigabytes. There's also an embedded 3000 milliamp hour battery that should allow the Zenfone Zoom to get through a single day's worth of use, and possibly even more depending on usage, barring it doesn't suffer from the same battery drain issues of the Zenfone 2. Of course, the big story here with the Zenfone Zoom is the 13 megapixel camera, and ASUS is quite proud of how thin they were able to keep this smartphone, that they're touting it as the world's thinnest smartphone with a 3x optical zoom lens. With the 3x optical zoom, you'll be able to zoom in and snap a photo without losing any detail, and all of the zooming is done internally, which means you're not going to see any physical movement from the lens on the outside. The camera also comes with OIS and laser autofocus, which should help out in low light situations and makes for faster autofocus. ASUS claims that the Zenfone Zoom is going to offer a DSLR-like experience with a new super resolution mode that can create shots up to 52 megapixels, and a manual mode that allows for instant adjustment of the shutter speed, exposure, white balance, ISO, and many other pro level grade settings. But whether this phone can be good enough to replicate the quality of a DSLR remains to be seen. For the software, the Zenfone Zoom is running on Android 5.0 and ASUS's Zen UI, so you can expect many of the typical Zen UI features that we saw on the Zenfone 2 to be on the Zoom, including a pretty solid amount of pre-installed applications that most people are going to consider bloatware. Pricing is still yet to be confirmed, but the Zoom will be coming to Europe before the end of the year, and you'll have the color choices of either pure black or ceramic white. But that is going to do it for this quick hands-on look of the Zenfone Zoom, and it could very well be the perfect solution for anyone looking for a smartphone that puts the camera at the forefront. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and also subscribe to the channel, which is also down below if you haven't already. And as always, keep it locked here to Android Authority, because we are your source for all things Android.